Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody is doing well. Okay guys, well in today's video, I want to talk about a couple of movies that are coming out from MVD Classic Rewind Collection. And I believe they're actually coming out today. And these are two movies that I think are worth your time. So I just wanted to talk about them briefly. So the first movie I want to talk about is Men at Work, starring Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. I believe Emilio Estevez also directed it. I don't know if he wrote it or not, but I know that he directed it. And this movie was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It's from 1990. And this movie is about two friends who are garbage men who kind of slack off at the job a lot. I mean, they're more concerned about checking out women and dreaming about a surf shop that they eventually want to open more than actually doing their job. And anyway, their life kind of gets turned upside down when one day, while on the job, they find a corpse of a politician, a well-known politician, in one of the trash cans. And they soon become, by kind of mistake, not really mistake, sort of mistake, they kind of become like prime suspects in this killing. And so they have like police after them. They have the actual killers who actually killed the person after them. So what ends up happening is to basically try to clear their name, I guess, if you will, of the crime. They have to kind of do their own investigative work, find out, you know, why this person was killed and bring the real people to justice. And, you know, there's car chases. There's even a little bit of romance. There's some comedies. There's some drama, a little bit of violence. This movie kind of has a little bit of everything. And I surprisingly liked it more than I actually thought I would. Even though the film is a little bit unbalanced from time to time, I still thought it was a pretty good time. So definitely, I think it's worth your time to check out this movie from 1990. Real quick, I just want to delve into the actual release itself. I love this MVD Rewind collection. I love how they have it on there, and they have all the little stickers on here to make it like it's an old VHS rental. You know, we must remind you to rewind. Rated PG-13. Things down here. It's kind of scuffled up a little bit, so it's kind of like an old VHS case. And these are just really, really cool releases. And the beauty of these releases is, I mean, you don't get a whole lot as far as like special features are concerned. Some releases on the MVD have more special features than others, but they're usually under about $20. And the thing that I like about them is you get a slipcover. You get a cool little slipcover. On some of the releases, this one seems to have it, is reversible artwork. The transfers are fantastic. They look super good. The transfers, the sound, everything about that aspect is really good. You're going to get a beautiful product. This is going to be the best that this film has ever looked on Blu-ray, that's for sure. Then you go on the inside, and there you got the other artwork, which is just the front cover. You get not too much artwork, but a little bit on the actual disc itself. Each one of these MVD Rewind collections gets a mini little poster, which is basically just the cover, but it's just kind of a cool little thing that they add in. So you get the little poster there, which is kind of cool. And you don't get a whole lot as the way of like special features on here though. Yeah, you get the original theatrical trailer, and that's about it on here. You don't get a whole lot. But like I said, for under $20, usually, I think I got this for like $16.99. You know, you get reversible artwork. You get the nice, cool, clear cases, too. I love these clear cases. You get a slipcover, and you get a transfer that's, in my opinion, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I thought it looked super good. The grain was super thin. A lot of detail. Just a lot of, I need little things that, when there was color, looked really, really good. I had no issues with the audio. So yeah, so like I said, you don't get a whole lot of special features, but you do get a slipcover, a great transfer, a movie that sounds great, and a little mini poster for under $20. So that's why I love these collections so much. All right, guys, the next one is the film that I really, really wanted to talk about. That other one, that's the first time I've seen it, that Men at Work, and it was okay, but I enjoy this movie much more, and that's The Last American Virgin. I remember seeing this movie as a kid. not really even as a kid. I was probably, I don't know, 15, 16 maybe when I saw it. And I'd only seen it once or twice, and there was certain scenes in my head, maybe only like 3 or 4 scenes that I really, really remembered. Otherwise, a lot of it, this film, I had completely forgotten about. So I was super excited to recheck this one out. And The Last American Virgin is a remake of a film out of, I want to say Israel maybe, called, I believe the English title is Lemon Popsicle, maybe. So this movie is based on, or is not based on, it's a straight remake of a movie. I believe it's called Lemon Popsicle out of Israel, which came out in the late 70s, so just a few years before this one did. And that actually was a series of films. There was like 6 or 7 of those films. And actually when they did The Last American Virgin, they were talking about in some of the interviews on here that the cast had actually signed up to do like a 3-picture deal. So they're almost going to turn The Last American Virgin into a trilogy. But for some reason, I don't know what the reasoning was, that never happened. But yeah, the original one out of Israel has like 6 or 7 films. And I didn't even know that this was a remake until I watched the interview. That's one of the special features on here. So The Last American Virgin is kind of similar to Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It came out right around the same time. This movie though is, this movie is different than Fast Times at Ridgemont High, because what you get here is you almost get 2 movies in one. One part of this movie is like a teen screwball sex comedy, but it also delves into some really kind of dark and serious subject matter, and which is kind of hard to pull off because it's 2 very different genres, to where you have, really quirky screwball kind of slapstick style comedy, and you're intertwining it with kind of some dark shit, And this movie does a really, really good job of intertwining those 2 styles. And so what it is, basically, it's about a group of friends, and, they're experimenting, with their sexuality. All they're trying to do is get girls. But then one guy, the main guy here, he falls in love with this girl who starts dating his friend. And, it deals with heartbreak. It deals with abortion. It deals with lots of really serious, dark issues that you wouldn't normally always see in a screwball comedy, which is why I think this movie is very underrated and very special, because you just don't get to see that often, or to make it work as well as this movie makes it work. When you think of the 80s, you think of, excess and parties and, glamour and a good time. And as we all know, that doesn't always happen. You get that on one part, but then there's always some shit that you need to deal with, and shit that happens that's not so great. And this movie covers that. And I really like the way that it intertwined between the 2 styles of movies. You also get a great soundtrack on here. I gotta talk about the soundtrack. If you're a fan of 80s music, this thing is packed. You even have some music, I think, from maybe even like the late 70s. But like on the thing here, it says, featuring top hits by Blondie, The Cars, The Commodores, Devo, Quincy Jones, Journey, The Police, REO Speedwagon, Tommy Two-Tone, and U2. Not a big U2 fan, but honestly, I don't even know what U2 song they played in here. So whatever it was definitely not one of the big, like, popular ones, because I didn't recognize any really U2 songs in there. But yeah, once again, you get this great packaging. They went all out a little bit more on this one to make this more of like a VHS. And you go on the back and it's like, it's all tore up. But here you got the comedy sticker here that's kind of half peeled off. Must be 18 to rent. Be kind, rewind. Now let's delve into this must be 18 to rent. Now, Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a little bit raunchy at times. This movie is really, really raunchy. So, I mean, that's just something to beware. I mean, there's a lot of scenes in here that are very uncomfortable. There's scenes in here that are just kind of disgusting and gross and made me a little uncomfortable. And there were a few times I watched it, I was just like, oh, I'm not even there, and I'm feeling uncomfortable. They do a great job of, like, kind of like young teenagers being awkward in awkward sexual situations. Like, this is, you know, I don't know. Just check this movie out. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It's a lot of fun. The acting's pretty good. The script's pretty good. Yeah, and like I said, it was a lot of fun to revisit this one because there were certain things that were in my mind of certain scenes that I remembered that were in this movie. But like I said, for the most part, I didn't remember too much about it. So I was really, really happy to revisit it. I think you'll like it too. If you're a fan of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I think you'll probably enjoy this one. This one probably flew a little bit under the radar because they both came out. They came out the same year. And I believe they even had like the same billing in the theaters around the same time. And this one did fly a little bit under the radar because Fast Times at Ridgemont High kind of just took over. That's definitely the more popular of the two movies. But this one is definitely worth your time. But yeah, you got the cool packaging here. Like I said, you got the slip cover. And then they got this one's a little bit different than the traditional MVD Classic Rewind. It's a little bit more of that 80s VHS tape. But on the inside, you get that classic MVD Classic Rewind case artwork. And then on the inside, you get the disc that doesn't have too much art really on it. You get the mini poster, which is the same thing, but I'll show it here in a second. You get some inside artwork, which is very cool. And then you get the little mini poster here. It's pretty awesome. And then this one, you do actually get some good special features on here. I watched they're all interviews, and I watched 2 out of like the 4 or 5 interviews that are on here, and I found it to be extremely informative. Like that's how I found out that these were remakes. I didn't know this movie was a remake. That's how I found out that this was supposed to be like a trilogy. And so yeah, they cover some really good stuff. I definitely highly recommend, if you like the movie, definitely watch the interviews because it's pretty cool. Let's see here. So, let's see. It says high definition presentation of the film, 1080p. You get the audio 2.0 LPCM stereo, original English subtitles. The first American remake, interview with Boaz Davidson. That's the director of the film, and that's 37 minutes. I have not watched that one yet. You have Memories of a Pizza Boy, interview with Lawrence Morrison. I think Morrison. I'm not sure how you say it. I think that's how it said. That's 27 minutes. I watched that one. That's the main character, an interview with him. I watched the 2 interviews with these 2 main characters, and that was a very, very interesting interview. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Then you get Babe of the 80s, interview with Diane Franklin, and that's 21 minutes. You have In Praise of Smaller Movies, an interview with cinematographer Adam Greenberg, which is 22 minutes. You get a photo gallery, collectible mini poster, original theatrical trailer, and a TV spot. So yeah, so you get a good amount. This one might have been a little bit more spendy. This one might have been slightly over 20. I'm not sure. I'll link both of these where you can buy both of them on Amazon. This one might have been a little bit more expensive because you do get some extra bonus features. But yeah, like I know I talked a lot more about this one and praised this one a little bit more just because I was a bigger fan of them. These movies are both worth your time. And this MVD Classic Rewind is fantastic. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 12 now of these. And I've been very happy with every single one of them I've watched. I thought they've all looked good. I thought they've all sounded really good. And I just think they're worth your time. Especially this. If you're in the mood for a good 80s kind of sex comedy but deals with some serious issues, definitely throw this one in. This was a lot of fun. I might actually rewatch it again. I really enjoyed revisiting it. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I got for you today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know you guys like what I'm doing. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know, have you seen any of these movies? Do you own any of these movies? Do you plan on watching them? Do you plan on picking them up? Let's finish the conversation in the comments, guys. I love talking about this stuff. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are amazing as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.